I'm here with the director and the DP, the creative team of Girl Dinner. And I had some questions I was going to ask them just to like fill in some of this vlog. Hey girls, this lighting looks crazy.
So how difficult was it?
Very. Sips.
How difficult was it editing and creating all the different, feels? Everybody had a different feeling to their episode. So how did you achieve that in the edit?
You know what? I think it was a thing where when I first got the footage, I was still like, what am I doing? It was a little nerve-wracking, but in a good way. It was a good challenge. Yeah, I'm grateful for it because it showed me like, okay, you need to have all your ducks in a row. You don't have to, but it helps to speed things up along the way. But like, don't feel a type of way because it wasn't like in a bad way. It was just like, oh my gosh, this is like a challenge.
Right.
But I'm grateful for it because that's the only way to grow is to do things that you've never done before. That's exactly what it was. Yeah. What else?
So as an editor, not more times out of not, like you get it before color and sound. So now that you've seen it with the color grade on it and with the sound design, how do you feel now?
It looks so good.
How is it like seeing your edit on the big screen?
Oh, that was really cool, actually. It's in the vlog. I was filming myself watching it. And I think I was like cheesing like really hard because I'm like, obviously I'm not on the screen, but it's like I put a lot of hours into this project, and to see it and see people laughing and like appreciating the work, it just felt really good. So I think I'm going to stick with this editor thing. I kind of like it. Just want to get better.
Are you going to finally say goodbye to Final Cut?
Well, goodbye? No.
Goodbye.
I'm not going to say goodbye to it because I bought it. So I will have it forever. Adobe, yo, what's up? I know you don't know who I am, but yo, I've been using like Photoshop for years.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like
They don't know who you are yet.
You don't know who I am yet, but you gonna know. Because I'm going to be tagging you in all my premiere stuff. And you're going to be hitting me up like, hey, we want to work with you. Mark my words. What else? Okay. Why did you feel it was important to tell the story specifically through a vertical short format?
I would just say, I wouldn't say there was any intention on like why it meant more to be vertical rather than wide, other than just to follow up what I've done before. So just to show how I've elevated from my last vertical series.
Yeah, you leveled up, girl. That was a level. Okay. Why was having an all-female cast and crew so important to you?
Ooh, because I get very drained and exhausted working with men sometimes on set. It's a lot of condescending tones, a lot of questioning and mistrust, and so talking down. Yeah, all of the things. So yeah, I wanted to see what it would be like to work with women, at least women department heads. Yeah. But then it just came along better that it just was all women from top to bottom. So
being that you've now done it, was it everything you kind of thought? Or in relation to what you just said, was it better? Or were there similarities that was like, okay, I can kind of go either way, and it's kind of the same give. It just really depends on person to person.
It depends person to person. I think that it's a great thing to have women department heads. Mm-hmm. I don't know if the whole set needs to be women. I mean, women, but I think having all women department heads is something I will try to implement a lot moving forward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was dope. And it's like really cool to see because I don't know that I've ever seen an all-female casting crew all the way like from cast or from post-production, production, cast, and like everything. I don't think I've ever seen that. So I hope you like really highlight that in the promotion of this project. Mm-hmm. How do you think this choice influenced the energy on set?
All women? Mm-hmm. Again, I think it's just a lot more nurturing, a lot more patient. I think it just, it was more peaceful. And a lot of men like to tell you, no, you can't do things on set. No.
Like rule of like.
Just like that's not going to work, or because they think it won't work, they just don't even want to try. And I think women are just more open to trying things.
How did you balance giving direction while also allowing your team to bring their own creativity to the table? No pun intended. Table.
I think I'm just one of those people that like I give them as many references and things that I can, and then after that, you kind of just have to trust. You just have to trust them themselves. Yeah. So it was just about trusting them. But I gave them the tools, I gave them my vision, and then after that, just let them create.
I love it. So you're not a micromanager. Only when you edit.
I can be.
Only in the post production, which is good. I can appreciate it because it's your vision. So, how do you hope this project inspires other women in film and production?
Just do it. Just stop waiting for the industry's approval, stop waiting for the funding. If you the gear that you want, do it with what you have. And at the end of the day, I don't want to quote Nike, but just
I love it. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I'd be like, hey, Nike was onto something. Because really that's all it is.
Yeah.
Like there's
actually do it.
the only way to ever like do anything is to literally just start and to do it. And I learned that just from multiple things. I'm like, you know what? If I literally just like take one step towards what I'm trying to do, literally every day I'm working towards it, eventually you're gonna get there. To
And
literally
also,
just do it.
I think like sometimes when you're creative, like you want to do everything by yourself, just like you'd be surprised how many people want to work with you sometimes. So just like put the feeler out there, and you'd be surprised how many people reach out and say that they want to do something.
Exhibit A. You literally acquired a whole entire cast, post, and production team.
So Brittney, what was it like leading an entire female camera, lighting, and sound and electric and all the things team?
I think as a DP, I'm always trying to bring women into the fold regardless. I don't think it was anything different. So like you said, like it wasn't any no's or making me feel like a certain way if I wanted something that may not have made sense. It was like, hey, I think maybe we should do this or something like that. So it was just like all positive vibes, you know? So I like that.
What are some of the key differences working with men behind the camera versus women? I'm great at this. Thank you.
I think the only key difference is physically it helps to have men on set for certain things. But I think outside of that, mentally and like the ideas and just different things like that, I don't think it's any differences. I think the reason why I like working with women a lot is because there are things that women think about that men don't, you know? So like how a light may make talent look if it's a woman, you know, if it needs to be a little softer, or like, I think it was times where Michaela was like, hey, like, you know, she's sweating, or, you know, men don't think about those kind of details sometimes, especially when it comes to lighting, because the light exposes everything. If you're not wearing makeup, or this or that. And so like, you know, there were times where she wanted to soften the light just because it was hitting a talent a certain way. And so I kind of respect that aspect of it. And even with my camera operators, like my first AC was very detailed on certain things. And I feel like a lot of times those are the bigger differences, where they pay attention to those small details that make a big difference. Yeah.
What was it like working with a female director?
I don't think so. The thing is too, like I'm just now getting into like the narrative space as well. So like I think it was great working with you, because well, one, you were the writer and the director. And so I think, you know, having someone who's both, I think you were able to keep the authenticity of what was written in the actual story. So a lot of times you work with a director and they're not the writer, and so the director has their own vision that may be a little different than the writer's. And so it was easy for us because like you wrote it and you directed it and you know exactly what you wanted. And so that was really, really great. Even the times where like when we had to do the pickup, it was like, or where we had little holes that we needed to fix, you were always on it from like a writing standpoint, and then figuring out like how we can quickly add or maneuver or like switch up the story. So I thought that was really cool. And like you were grace. You showed a lot of grace on the set, and you're like super patient. And yeah, I think it was great. It was really really dope. I feel like the only thing was just like working with you. I've never, and it may not even be a woman thing. It just you're. I think what I respect about you is that like you really are for your cast. Like you, it's like I think I've worked on Gina a lot, and I've seen her like be really in tune with the cast and like create a bond with them. And I think that is something that I see you do. What I saw you doing on set, where I haven't seen like a lot of directors do that, where like it's really imperative for you to create that bond with the cast and like truly like allow them into the world that they have to be in, and like not letting anybody break that world for nothing.
She is talking about a very specific story. We won't name names.
All right, don't even go into it. But I'm just saying overall.
The chat want to know.
No, there was a particular situation, and not even just a particular one, because it actually happened multiple times.
It happened twice.
But just like she's very anal on like once it's rolling, like let talent get through the full thing. Like there should be no reason why like you're stopping talent if they're like now into their character. And for me, I'd be like, this is a waste of film. Like in my head, I'm like, this is a waste of film because we can't use it. But in her head, she's like, they're already in their character and you're taking them out of this world. So like that doesn't work. So I think, and then like over time, I like understood it. But at first I was like, well, we're not going to use it. I'm coming from a technical standpoint as a DP, like we're not going to use it. And so I think that was probably the only thing that I kind of had to learn about her specifically as a director. But I think everything else, you were like willing to take my ideas, and, I think it was just like, it was no ego. It was just kind of like, what do you see here? Or like, yeah. Or even if you didn't feel anything about it, you're like, it wasn't like, no,
yeah,
I don't like it.
Yeah, she's very collaborative.
Yeah.
And even in the like she be asking me like, which take do you like, or and that's just from like
even
the different
though she
projects.
Don't answer if you ask her, but that's another story. Because I've asked, like, oh, do you like this color?
Sometimes people will just go with what you say because you are the director and you need to trust yourself as the colorist or the DP or the editor
I don't
or
think
whatever.
I was the editor or the colorist for that.
Um,
Next question.
But to you upcoming directors out there, do not let the camera team stop your actors mid-take, okay? One, because they're already in the scene, but two, you can use that as rehearsal. So even if the camera goes out mid-scene, you let them finish, and then when you cut, then you let the camera team get it together, and then you talk to your actor about what you just saw, so that the next time when the camera's back up, they already have your notes that you want them to do.
Here's the thing.
It wasn't you.
It wasn't me personally, but I am responsible for my camera team, so I guess it was me, but like... the first time it was a big deal. I was like, whoa, yeah. Yuck.
Yuck. Wait, so someone yelled cut?
No, it was a situation where the talent was like in their scene, and then like,
mind you, she's crying in the scene. Okay.
Yeah,
and that takes a lot to.
And then when the camera team is always going to be technical. We always looking at lighting. We're looking at the camera, we're looking at the frame, what may be in the frame, the focus, all of those things. And so I don't even know exactly what it was in particular, but somebody on my camera team yelled something to where
I think she just was like, it's out of focus or something. She just like stopped it while the actress was like in tears. Mind you, we're already like maybe 75% through the take. She had maybe like 5 more lines left. So,
and then the second time the camera died, the battery died.
Don't care.
And
keep going. She don't know, but the actress doesn't know that the camera died.
Yeah, right. But
your thing is like time.
Exactly.
Yeah, like
we're doing this and we can't use it, and the camera died. Time-wise, we're already running out of time. Like in my head, I'm thinking about all those kind of things before I thought about. But again, I learned. But
but just to your point, for the sake of time, if we let them do the take in its entirety, then I give notes, and then they know how to do it right the next time. So if we stop them, we're going to have to do an extra take because they don't know how I want them to do it.
No,
So it saves an extra take of us doing it. Yeah, that time was wasted, but then we don't have to do an extra take.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's good to know, like, how each other works. And,
Yeah, for sure.
And
Yeah,
it's your
'cause
job to be for the actress. It's your job to be for the
I
camera.
was like, don't talk to my camera team like that.
And I said, don't talk to my talent like that. That's exactly how
You went off?
Yeah.
She went off.
She didn't.
She didn't go off. She did snap, and I
Same
said,
thing.
"You
No.
can't snap on my camera team."
So, okay, even snap. I sternly said, and mind you, I have to say this in front of talent because talent needs to know I have their back. So I said, do not stop. The only person that can stop anything is me. So if I don't yell cut, don't stop.
Which is,
And that's true.
it was
anyway.
understandable. However, to keep the morale up, it gotta be, you come talk to, we have the discussion, and then I take it to my camera team, and I'm like, hey, moving forward, let's not do this. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's different kind of communication styles.
Yeah. And this was y'all's first time working together.
This is our first time working together. So,
This was probably like day 2.
Yeah,
So
it was
we weren't
early
even in the
on.
thick of it
Yeah.
yet.
So, yeah.
But you guys know now. You know that she, it's about the art.
Yeah, I know now. Yeah. I know now.
Let it ride.
Because when that battery died, woo.
Just let
I
it ride.
saw them about to get up to move. I said, wait.
Who was about to get up to move?
My
A
AC,
whole different
my
person.
AC.
Oh.
No, the same person.
I chill.
Anyway.
Aw.
But at the end of the day, she was doing her job.
Right.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like she wasn't doing her job. She noticed that the battery died. It's your job to go. Technically, it was her job to be able to check
Before
battery
the take.
Before.
Yeah.
However, things happened.
Yeah.
And it died, and it was also her job to put in a new battery. So it wasn't that she wasn't doing her job. Even when the first situation happened, what she noticed was because she was actually doing her job and like paying attention.
Right.
But it was just kind of like, I don't think, I've worked with my first AC a couple times. And again, we don't work with directors I don't think I've worked with directors where that was a huge thing. And so that's why it was so new to me as well.
Right.
So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Any closing thoughts?
I got closing thoughts.
Okay.
Shout out to B for editing. I feel like a lot of people don't understand like finding a good editor and how a story can be made or broken in post, whether it's coloring or editing. And so, it's a tedious job. Not everybody wants to do it. But you did it, and you did it with like the most positive attitude, and even though
The most annoying director of all
with
time.
all 1,000 pages of notes,
I'm not gonna
and
lie.
you just never, even when I came into the fold to help, it wasn't ever like I'm stressed, I'm over this. It was just like, yeah, we're gonna make it pop. It's gonna be great. Like you did your thing. So I appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all. And I appreciate Alexis for continuing to like throw me in on these things.
Yeah,
Because I'm new to this too.
Right?
I'm still learning. There's still a lot.
She did.
Wait, I missed it?
Yeah.
Oh, what'd you say?
Take 2.
You can say it.
She said, and we have so many more things to work on.
Yes, we do. I'm so excited. Cheers. Good job, ladies.